What is up, you sexy YouTube mother lovers? We are back out on the Fayetteville range. What is this, a throwback episode? Yeah, as you can see, I'm spending a couple days for Christmas here back with the family, so visited the old range that we used to film all the videos at. Thought it was kind of cool to do one more. As you can also tell, the holidays have decided to give season's greetings to my lungs. 3 negative tests later, though, I don't have the Omicron or whatever the fuck it is. Anyhow, I have a toy, and I would like to share it with you. This is not a threat. This is really cool in the way that this is one of the more coveted collector's items amongst AK collectors, being it is the Chinese double folder. Why is it called a double folder, you may ask? Because it folds twice, idiot. Nah, for real. You've got an underfolding stock in the rear, and then you have a folding bayonet up front. A folding bayonet on what is traditionally an automatic rifle with an effective range of 300 meters. As Carnicon says, overly practical. Yeah, the Chinese just kind of like throwing bayonets on everything, which is probably the only thing that the communists have in common with the American Marine Corps. Anyhow, we're going to run the gun through her paces. I'm going to talk about why this gun's special to me and a couple things that will help you identify Chinese AKs as compared to others. So let's go ahead and cue the montage. Just dropping them off the fucking swingers. It's just abusing those swingers. It's not even fair. If you also like the idea of your combat rifle having 2 different methods of punching holes in things, go ahead and subscribe. I have a feeling that you're built different, but in a good way, like the way we like. So this is a Chinese AK-47S, or at least that's what it was imported as. Of course, lovingly referred to as the double folder, as mentioned previously with the underfolder stock and underfolding bayonet. We're gonna go ahead and show you the basic takedowns, pretty much the same as all the others, although it is cool to note the smooth top cover on the Chinese AKs. A lot of these have them. A little thicker too, I believe. You have a recoil assembly here. Take that out, and you have your bolt carrier group. So you've got your bolt here, your bolt carrier, your piston, and that is pretty much it. You now have your fire control group, your trigger, your hammer, your disconnector, all that good noise that makes the gun go bang. And yeah, that's what makes the AK so great. It's just super robust, super simple, and so easy a child could use it. And they do. And they did. That's actually the reason why I'm showing this one to you today, is that this is a little bit special to me, not because of child soldiers. This is actually the gun that kind of started me down the path of learning about the AK platform and kind of started my love for it. This is one of the guns from my dad's collection growing up that I would just sit in my room at 12, 13, taking it apart, looking at all the pieces, putting it back together, figuring it out, how it all worked. I'm sure it drove my parents fucking crazy, but it, I don't know, it was really cool as a kid, like just learning how it all mechanically functioned. And I don't know, it's what kind of got my gears going and wanting to learn more and more about the AK, which eventually led to building them, which led me to doing what I'm doing right now. So this gun in itself, and learning how to do what I'm doing right now and take it apart, put it back together, it's really what kind of started me down the path of being where I am now. So to me anyway, this is a very, very sentimental piece. And I just think that's really neat. Just goes to show parents, as long as you're doing it in a safe and responsible way, even little stuff like that can really make a big difference as far as educating your kids and bringing them into firearms in a safe and healthy way. Man, that sure was a lot of words in a row. Time for an ADD break. Do I have your attention now? But speaking of talking about guns in a safe and healthy manner, that leads us over to USCCA, who's the sponsor of today's video. If you carry a gun every day like I do, I would definitely consider checking out USCCA. They're a great group. I'll leave the links down in the description and in the pinned comment, but their primary purpose is to give you the training, tools, and education needed for you to feel comfortable carrying on a daily basis. Great organization, like I said, I'll leave the links down there. Now let's talk about this double folder, but specifically the fact that it's Chinese. Ew. But stop that Asian hate, because us AK guys actually really like Chinese guns, mostly because they're collectible as shit, because they were banned from import in the 90s. Thanks, Bill Clinton. So while we've been having problems recently with like different sanctions and bans on Russian imports and all sorts of shit from all over the world, the Chinese guns have been banned since before a lot of you guys were born, which has made guns like this extremely sought after. Hell, the Mac 90s were like $300 throwaway guns when I was first getting into this stuff, and now those are going for, almost $1,000 now. And those are the ones with like the weird thumb hole stocks and everything, not in the cool configurations like this. Those were like the plain Jane sporters. Anyway, I'm gonna get off that soapbox of government bad-re. Brandon, how can you tell when an AK is made in China? Well, for one, it says made in China. Fucking retard. Now, there are a couple of cosmetic telltale signs. So let's start at the front of the gun. That just seems like a logical place to start. We have our front sight post, or front sight block rather. The Chinese guns really liked hooded front sights. So the traditional AK, you kind of have this like sideways C, right? You've got the two different wings of the front sight post with an open top. On the Chinese guns, they complete that, and it's a total circle all the way around with a little hole cut up top so you can still access and adjust your front sight post. Don't know why they chose to do that, maybe for integrity, but pretty much all of them do. Another possible giveaway here is you've got a vented gas tube. The Chinese were not the only ones who did that. That's usually another very Chinese thing. Angry cops, you're gonna like this one a lot. Moving to the front trunnion. This is a stamped gun, so it does have a front trunnion. Immediately you see the visible section of it that is sticking up past the receiver is squared off. This is the section that the barrel pin is drilled through and pressed through. Now, when you see a square part of the front trunnion like this that doesn't have any sort of recess or cutaway or anything, immediately you either think Chinese or Yugo. Well, I guess also technically Albanian, but Albanian and Chinese are kind of, it's complicated. But the even bigger giveaway is the rivet pattern. You see this? You've got a magwell rivet here on the front trunnion. You've got one rivet up and then one rivet down. Very unusual for stamped AKs. Almost always you have magwell rivet, same place. This rivet roughly in the same place. But the rivet up front is going to be in line with the middle rivet. These two are going to be aligned right next to each other. This one is down farther. Again, both ways seem to work fine. Don't know why they felt the need to do this, but they did. And they did a lot of these. Just another cool thing I want to point out too. The trigger guard has one rivet on both sides. Whereas typically on the AK trigger guard you have two rivets. So 4 rivets total on your trigger guard up front anyway, whereas this one has 2. It's just kind of neat. I mean, it's not really a big load bearing surface. It's, I don't even know why you really need 4, but they went with 2. It's not really worse, it's just kind of neat, it's different. But yeah, keeping it surface level, those are just a couple of neat little tips and tricks for impressing your girlfriend at the movies by pointing out every time there's a Chinese AK in it. She loves it. She's gonna love it, trust me. Women just dig it when you interrupt your fucking movie talking about esoteric gun shit. It's a real, that's how you get a keeper. All right, let's go stab some shit. So traditionally with our white claw penetration test, we just put up our white claw and then we shoot it. But this time around, we have a bayonet. Time to see if ain't no laws applies to the Geneva Convention. Oh God. There we go. I know what I have to do. Just don't know if I have the strength to do it. Decapitated old fucking ruby grapefruit white claw. That was relatively clean. Now a legit one, just for old time's sake. Oh damn, didn't even think we'd be able to recover that just with all this foliage that's grown up, but conveniently saved it for us. Here we go. Penetration successful. I don't know if you guys know this, There's a war in this country right now. Well, actually 2 wars. War on drugs, which if you haven't been keeping score, drugs are winning. Drugs are winning pretty good. A war on drugs and a war on obesity, which obesity is also winning. We haven't been good at winning wars recently. But today I'm going to be doing my part, the war on obesity, by taking out some of General Ronald McDonald's finest artillery. The college student special 99-cent cheeseburger. Now a lot of you people are saying, you know, hey, Brandon, children in Africa could have eaten these cheeseburgers. Well, you're probably correct. But the kids in Africa also have a ton of Chinese Type 56 double spikers that they don't want to share with me either, so we're fucking even. Cleaning up my diet in 2021. Colorized. About to dispose of these cheeseburgers, and I'm loving it. Oh my God, that was shrapnel on that. Jesus. I'm gonna clean it up a little bit. Oh my God, that actually did clean up the bayonet quite a bit. Jesus, fuck. Well guys, I hope you liked this video on the Chinese double folding spiky boy. Had a couple things in this video that I think might be educational to you, and a couple of things that were just kind of sentimental that I thought were cool that I wanted to share with you guys, because I feel like you guys are my friends through the internet, and so I just like sharing this stuff with you. Anyhow, I know this video comes at the end of the Christmas season. I hope you guys had a good time with your family, and if you didn't, at least you had a good time at the bar. Hope all of you get back to wherever you're going safely. I appreciate you watching to the end of the video, and as always, I'll see you sexy YouTube mother lovers in the next video. Thanks, guys.
Fuel is my obsession to make the perfect weapon. Like Rasputin's rise to the top.
Fuck. I can't fucking move and shoot for shit. Time to see if Ain't No Laws applies to the Geneva Convention. Fuck, I missed. I am sickened that at some point I considered this food.